So we like to start these weeks off with asking each other what we're watching, reading, taking in, observing, whatever you got going on. So what creative endeavors are you consuming this week?
Uh, so right now, it's Tuesday. We record on Tuesdays for the listeners, those who don't know. So tonight I'm going to be watching the season finale of Daredevil Born Again. Um, what else have I been watching recently? I've been rewatching How I Met Your Mother. Uh, been trying to read more. So right now I'm reading it's a book called Creativity Inc. It's like written by the guys who founded one of the guys who founded Pixar, but
Okay.
it's like a 20-year edition. So there's like the actual book, and then he actually goes back and added more notes where like, after reflecting, this was a mistake. I would have said this in the book, that sort of thing. So it's kind of cool. I'm always interested in how things are kind of built in movies and things like that, obviously. I was kind of kid where if I got a DVD, I asked for the one with the special features so you can see behind the scenes. So it's kind of like an extension of that. I'm also reading a poetry book called Excuse Me While I Kiss the Sun by Rui
Okay.
Francisco, one of my favorite poets. Really, really good. And what's cool about the book is there's like different styles of poetry. There's new formats that I'm discovering throughout the book. There's like each chapter is like a different form of poetry, and he explains how to use it and kind of that sort of thing. So it's really cool. So I'm just kind of going back, rereading it, coming up with writing notes, coming up with new ideas to try with my stuff. So that's been fun. I'm also reading
How-
Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell.
Real quick,
Yeah,
how do you guard against plagiarism reading poetry books? Because like a lot of plagiarism is actually on accident, and you don't even
right.
you logged it, you read it, and then 6 weeks later you think it's your idea.
Correct. That's 100%. Yeah, so it's funny you say that because that's why I love reading poetry, but I try not to read it on a regular basis because I
Yeah.
don't want it to sink into my brain by accident.
Right.
Um, I think also because poetry is so um it's unique and it's specific at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like I think every poet has probably used some sort of metaphor of like, a similar metaphor for a certain poem or a
Right.
similar line just because, sadness is like a dark cloud. Like
Yeah.
no one's gonna say you plagiarize because we've always said sadness is like a cloud. You know what I
Right.
mean? That sort of
Some
thing.
stuff is
So,
like public domain at this point. It's kind of like
yeah,
Sherlock Holmes.
exactly.
You can do a Sherlock Holmes remake and you don't have to pay anybody because it's been out so long it's public domain.
Right. It's
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Now if it's like I'm very like I read I read a lot of poetry, I consume a lot of poetry, and also just like listen to a lot of music, for example. So like I can hear a poet and I'll know, oh, I know where you got that line. Like that's an
Yeah.
exact line from a song or something. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like a little different. I think similarities is cool as long as it's not like if it's like three lines in a row, it's like, all right, bro, like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So
I always wanted to
um
troll your Troll City Soul and get up there and just like recite Outkast lyrics and see if any how long it takes someone to catch it.
it's funny you say that. So like there's usually like a cipher after the show.
Yeah.
And I've always thought about just going up there and just like ripping like a freestyle that I memorized. Or like just going up and doing like the last battle scene from 8 Mile and seeing like who picks up on it if I just go up there like
I've always wanted to do it, man. Just get up there and just recite like Outkast lyrics and see how long it takes the people to catch on. And obviously, I'd be in on the joke, but I've
Right.
always wanted to do that.
Honestly,
I'm never
if
going to
you
do it,
said
but
it
I've always
so
wanted to do it.
if you said it slowly enough, you probably could get away with it. Like it's funny because like
Yeah, they're
with
like
stuff like that,
me
it's
and
not
your
a
daughter have special things going on. You say it's puppy love, we say it's full grown. It's like, wait a minute. Have you ever seen
No, facts.
have you Money Talks with Chris Tucker and Charlie Sheen? And she's
Yeah, yeah,
citing Barry White lyrics as their toast, and she's like, "Wait, isn't that Barry White?"
yeah.
I've always wanted to
Yeah,
do
or
it.
it's like remember that scene from Tropic Thunder where
No.
after there's a black character there's actually a black character, then there's the character that Robert Downey Jr. plays. And the black character, he's like he said the N-word like about Robert Downey Jr. And he's like, this koala hugging nigga, and he slaps him. And he's like, that word has traumatized us for over 400 years. And then he goes on and he's like, now we up at the big leagues, getting that turn it back.
No.
As long as you and me, baby, ain't nothing wrong with that. And he's like, that's a theme song from the Jeffersons. You really need help.
Now that I think about it, the idea isn't even that original. What else you got going on, man? I cut you off when you
um,
said you were reading something else.
oh yeah, I'm also reading Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. 10,000 Hours of Success. It's like it's a really cool. It's almost like a sociological breakdown of like successful people and habits. I'm early in the
Yeah.
book because I read multiple books at once. But it's really cool just how they break down certain concepts that never even occur to you that are like the most simple thing in the world. And you're like, holy shit, I guess that would have explained why maybe at a certain point in my childhood I struggled with a grade or a class or why I may have felt behind in certain aspects. And it's like, oh yeah, there's like certain trends that you just kind of don't notice that they're not put in place intentionally, but it's just a byproduct of kind of the mass production of society that we operate in. Um, so it's really cool to kind of see how that manifests itself in a variety of industries.
Fair enough.
Um,
I
what
am
about you? What you reading? What you watching?
pretty basic, man. I'm watching just recently re-signed up for HBO because The Last of Us season 2 started on Sunday. Can only say but so
Yep.
much because it's literally airing basically live. So wonderful. I played all the video
Right.
games, can only say but so much, but right now I'm locked into season 2 of The Last of Us. The first episode was great. I don't watch a lot of TV, so this is a for me to endorse the show means it's a really good show. It's a ringing endorsement. Also,
Right.
something else, since I had the app, I started watching The Pit on HBO, and it's basically
I've heard about that.
each episode is an hour in this Pittsburgh emergency room, and it's like one of the more
Mhm.
realistic depictions of what it's actually like to work in an ER. So, watched the first episode last night, pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, as far as what I am reading, I'm currently reading Patient Zero, Curious History of the World's Diseases. I keep so I listen to a bunch of podcasts that are just kind of like
Yeah.
author comes on, reads a book or whatever. Like one of the podcasts I listen to is the Ezra Klein podcast, and at the end of every one of his podcasts, he asks his guests what are three books that shape da 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 da. And I
Hmm.
was just like, log those books, put them on my Amazon book list, and I'll scroll the list once a day. And once they go on discount, because they inevitably do, I'll just buy it on Kindle. So
Yeah.
this one was like $3, and I bought it. And about halfway through with it, and it's basically
Okay.
all of the major diseases, how they started and how they jumped, and patient zero, and how they spread, and
Hmm.
so on and so forth. So, um, yeah, so that's kind of
Okay.
what I'm reading now. Won't get too much into what the intricacies of the book because we'd be here all day. But
Yeah.
if Ebola ever mutates, we are fucked. But it's basically Ebola is like 50% mortality rate, but the only it's like
Oh shit.
you have to come in direct contact with bodily fluids of someone who is infected with Ebola. And
Mm.
so the worst strain of it kills like 50% of people. But if that motherfucker
Damn.
ever mutates to airborne transmission and keeps that mortality rate, it's gonna be The Last of Us for real. Like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
like billions of
yeah.
people would
It's
die.
it's gonna be like I
Um,
am legend out this motherfucker.
yeah, man. So, anyways, you had a conversation you saw on TikTok you want to talk about?
Yeah, so I saw this TikTok of a comedian doing like crowd work.
Yeah.
And she was asking this girl like how soon has she ever said like I love you to a guy or the guy she's dating or whatever. And she was like, "Oh, like a month and a half." And everybody was like, "Whoa." And then the comedian's like, "Yeah, that's damn." And then she goes, "So like did he say it back?" And she was like, "No." And she was like, "Well, have you said it since then?" She's like, "No." And she's like, "Are y'all still together?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then she's like, "So you said I love you a month and a half, and y'all just like don't say it at all now?" She's like, "Yeah, pretty much." And the crowd like reacts, and you can tell the crowd was like, "That's really quick to say that to say I love you to somebody." And the comedian, I forgot to say the comedian's a woman, so in real time, she's like, "Wait, is that too soon to say it? Because I've been saying it like a month and a half this whole time." And then she's like, "Are you here by yourself?" And the girl's like, "No, I'm here with my friends." She goes, "Oh, cool. How many friends?" She goes, "7." She goes, "Is it your birthday?" Friend girl goes, "No." And she's like, "So you have 7 friends to come and hang out with you, and you're in your 20s, and it's not your birthday, and they let you date a guy that wouldn't say he loved you back, and you're still." And then she goes to the friend, she's like, "What are y'all doing? Y'all dropped the ball." So I wanted to ask you, is there a point where you ever felt the need to like really intervene with your friend or like have a serious conversation with a friend about their relationship, or do you just like not? Is that
So
like a no go for you?
the key word in that is you said let. And I was there
Mm,
ever a point where I would try to intervene? Sure. But
yeah,
years and years of experience in this wisdom has taught me that there is absolutely positively nothing you can tell two people in love. There's
yeah,
nothing. So I don't waste my time anymore. I mean, a niece, something like that, I give her some game.
yeah. Okay, yeah,
But anybody like a friend, no. They can have every red flag in the
yeah.
world. I'm not going to waste my time because they're not going to listen. They're not going to listen. No, they're just not. And so you're wasting your time. And these things end anyway. As long as they, I mean, as long as anybody in danger or there's any sort of
Yeah,
harm or risk, they're not going to listen to you. So you're wasting your breath. All they're going to do is call you a
yeah,
hater or resent you or whatever. And if it fails, they're going to say that you wanted it to happen anyway. And so I don't get involved with that. I don't get involved in
right.
anyone else's dating life but my own because I don't find it to be a fruitful endeavor. How about you?
I mean, it depends on the situation. Like, if they're just dating, then I'll kind of, it's like, whatever, you're not in a relationship, that's it probably will end at some point anyway. That's my mentality. Not mentality, but that's what I'm assuming. Um, if I really feel the need to like say something, it's because, I found something out or I saw something, bad happen or whatever, I'll
Define
maybe say
that.
something
I
once,
like
maybe twice. Okay.
so you see somebody you down at the mall. The mall, I just dated myself.
Yeah.
You at you at the pool hall and you see
Yeah.
your friend's new boo with someone else. Are you reporting that back to her?
I actually literally had that happen. I waited, but I did say something. But
One, that's a violation. Two, absolutely, you
fair.
should not do
That's
that. Don't
fair.
mind your business. I,
Well, well, so here's
it's
what
nothing to
happened.
do
So
with
I'm not
you.
gonna go into detail. Well, I
Yeah,
can't go into detail for obvious reasons, but
yeah,
I literally like went to a friend for advice about it, and the friend happened to know the friend. So they were like, "Well, do we know them? Whatever." And,
yeah,
and they're like, "Oh, okay, well." And that friend had inside information as to why they said I should tell the person. So I
yeah.
will say that. So it was a kind of extenuating circumstances, but um, I did just on some, just all at one time thing. But honestly, like when you have a friend that's like down bad at a certain point over a person that they're dating, there's really nothing you can do. Like I'll tell you once, maybe I don't know if that's healthy. Do what you want to do, whatever, if you're asking me for advice or if you're talking to me about it, I'm
You wanna know
assuming you
my
want me
rule?
input.
You wanna know my rule?
What's your rule? Yeah.
Friend, male or female, they cheat
Yeah.
once and you go back. That's fine. That's life. Whom amongst us? I don't judge. I don't
Right.
know y'all circumstances. They cheat twice. You go
Correct.
back. I'm not gonna say nothing, but I'm judging you. Three
Yes.
times, y'all officially have an understanding. If a motherfucker cheats on you
Yeah.
3 times and you stay with them, that's not cheating. You're clearly it doesn't bother
You
you.
clearly you're just accepting it. It is
you
what it
you
is.
have an understanding. That's not cheating. Y'all just have an
Yeah.
understanding. It
That's what I
doesn't bother
call
you.
get
Just I
yeah.
don't want to hear about it anymore because it doesn't bother
Yeah,
you.
no, facts. Facts. Like that for me, that's why two things on that. So one, that's what I call gateway poly, where they can date other people, but you can't. And two,
When
and
someone
again,
said,
if
if you
it,
participate in baby mama, baby daddy culture, you're already poly. Like,
yeah, that's a fact. It really is true because they double back anytime they want. Like it is what it is. I know too much to believe any
I
otherwise,
I
whatever.
I'm gonna leave that one
Um,
alone.
I what I will say is
Leave
I
that one
have
alone.
now. I will say like if it's a thing where this person's like just like droning on and on about it, like that's all they can talk about. Like I'll just kind of take a step back from the person, honestly. Like I've definitely like fallen back from certain people in a certain situation. It's just like, okay, if that's your whole identity at this point, or if you're just gonna keep whining to me about it, and I know you're not gonna change the behavior, I'm not gonna tell you anything because I'm not a therapist. I just don't want to hear it anymore. And I've done that for sure though.
Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I
Correct.
saw a tweet, which is funny because I'm not even on Twitter, but I'll check it on the website. That BET
Yeah.
Plus is bringing on Tommy Davidson to do a Martin reboot. So
Oh.
if you remember season 2 of Martin, Tommy Davidson had a guest starring role where he was like a talk show host. Hey, I'm trying to get to the yams. I'm trying to get
Oh.
to the yams.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
shaboing
Okay,
boing.
that's right. Yep. I forgot about
So
that.
we're gonna reboot a whole new series based off a 2 episode guest appearance from 35 years ago. Are we just out
That's
of
insanity.
ideas? Are we just out of ideas?
I
We're
it's crazy because
rebooting
I
whole new series off a guest star
of
from
a guest
35
spot
years ago. He was on two
that no one
episodes.
remembers. That no one
Well,
remembers, by the
Martin
way.
aficionados remember. I can quote the whole
Well,
episode,
yeah,
but
but
it's
you
just
that's like
there's
one of
no
your
meat
rewatch
there. There's
shows, you
no
know what I'm
meat on
saying?
that bone. Like apparently they're gonna do, like I don't even. He's gonna have the show, but they're gonna be. It's the show is gonna be about his late night talk show. It's like, dude, he's 60 years old now. This just
So it's a spinoff?
Yeah, yeah. It's like
That
a
that sounds like a
35-year-old
horrible premise
spinoff
for a
based off
show.
of a
I mean,
two
shout
episode
out to Tommy Davidson, a legend, but that sounds like a horrible idea for a show.
Legend is
That's
strong.
I don't think they're doing well.
You can't name three good
I
movies he's been in, but
He's been in the business for a long time. He's been
he's
in the
been in the
business for
business.
20 years. Shout
We
out that's a
got
long
Booty
career.
Call. We got that Martin guest star appearance. We got in
Um,
Living Color. I don't recall him being in anything
in
else.
Living Color. Oh, he was in the Proud Family. He was the dad from in the Proud Family.
Okay, Legend is
I don't
strong.
know if you saw that
Uh,
show.
oh, Legend, I rest my case. Uh, so another thing I saw is I saw this you know the rap group Little
Yeah.
Brother, Fonte and someone else, I forget their names. Um
Is it?
we
I'm
should
not sure.
we should give
Let
them
me
enough
Google it really
respect to
quick.
like with their names. Little Brother rap group. Because I'm
Oh,
about to Fonte and Big Pooh.
is
Um
this like?
produced by Ninth
Is this
Wonder.
old?
Yeah, yeah, they're old. So
Oh, I know Knife
anyways,
Wonder.
long and the short of it is they announced their last tour, and they're going to Raleigh, and I might check them
Yeah.
out. But there was this long tweet
Okay.
thread about why touring isn't like the how the financials of touring is all screwed up, and they can't make the
Hmm.
money they used to make, so they're done doing it. And I'm reading that
Yeah.
thread, and I just can't look. I just don't know. Am I supposed to feel bad for this? It is not your birthright to make money rapping. Like it's just not. Like you like there was a time where if you could not make any money
Yeah.
making music, you just got a job. And I'm supposed to feel bad that you like he it was just like, well, if we after we have seven people to pay and these venues want to charge us these high venue fees
Right.
and with demand for what the customers are willing to pay for the tickets, sometimes we don't even make any money on the show. And I'm like,
Hmm.
so back in the day, you would just get a job then. Like you, if you can't make any money rapping,
Yeah, you work for a
you,
record label. I don't know, get an internship.
I guess the thing is this idea that everyone, if they want one, should have a fun job. And no, I don't have a fun job. Do you have a fun job? No, you do it for money. And it's like,
No.
it's just I'm reading that and I'm just like people act like it's their birthright to make money on whatever creative endeavor that they have. And it's like if you can, that's great. If you can make money acting, if you can
Yeah.
make money rapping, if you can make money
Yeah.
drawing
Yeah.
paintings, go
Loving what
for
you
it.
do.
But if you can't, I don't feel
Yeah.
bad. You go get a job. Like that's
I don't
life.
think correct. I don't think people understand that loving what you do is a luxury. Like that's like it's like the
Correct.
1% of the 1%. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And even the 1%, half of them don't even love what they do. It just makes them money. They have to do it, or they feel the need to do it because they like what it comes with.
It
But
was like
yeah,
when
man,
all the
like
when the big five, they call them
90% of
the
people don't
Fang.
love what they do.
It's like when the big five, they call it the Fang tech companies. They laid off a bunch of software engineers. And
Hmm.
granted, software engineering is some of the most high in demand, skill sets in the whole labor force. And like BMW was
Correct.
like, I think the German automaker BMW was like, we have a huge shortage of software engineers. We're hiring, and like every state government is hiring for software engineers, and a whole bunch of like not A list firms, but like B and C list firms need software engineers. And I'm just
Hmm.
like, so maybe you just can't work at Facebook and Google, man. I'm sorry. You can go work at BMW. You can go work for you're not unemployable. Like,
Like that.
like you don't have a right to go work
Right.
at
And by the
Microsoft.
way,
Like,
those seem like
those are
cool
the
companies
elite
to
of
want
the
to work
elite
for. I don't know if I
jobs.
could work for BMW, I'd do it.
Well, no, I mean, those are
Yeah.
great jobs, but like I'm supposed to feel bad that you might not have one of the five best software engineering
Right.
jobs in the world. You might have to take the 13th. Boo fucking who.